Here is a topically easy and positive video for a change, you happy bastards, and because it is not some recent political topic or drama in video games, it won't get any views probably because people are attracted to negative more than positive, but I really want to share this rare period. For the last couple months I've been enjoying gaming a lot. Game after game. Each one that I've chosen to play has been brilliant in some way and made me sit in front of the monitor and TV for hours with childlike energy and a bit of disappointment and anger that sleep exists and is necessary at times because it would remove me from the screen. Life is not easy at the moment and it's gonna get hell of a lot worse, but periods like these bring that innocent and pure joy that has been almost non-existent for a long time. There are a couple of reasons for that, and one of the reasons is that I wasn't doing guides for any of the games played for one reason or the other. Not doing guides means less pressure and stress about being fast and precise with videos, which can kill the gaming rhythm a lot due to research, testing and editing. It's similar to watching YouTube reactions of your favorite music and people constantly pausing during the song. In metal, you can't do that, it diminishes the work because the rhythm and sequences are broken that way. Now some of you might say that maybe that's why I'm too strict with reviews, due to not being able to enjoy games that I'm covering through guides as much as I would have if I wasn't doing guides, but it's not that. While doing guides always affects enjoyment negatively, it also offers a deeper glimpse into the game's designs and systems. Enjoyment for me is not really a factor in reviews because I'm aware that doing guides destroys it a bit in a way, but it also keeps me grounded and shows if the game has that fantastic design that even with forced breaks to make guides, I can't wait to get back in. Games with quality designs and systems are for most going to make playing it enjoyable, no matter the gaming rhythm. I also think that all review numbers should mean something, 1 to 5 included, so that not just 5 to 10 exists, because it gives better insight into reviewers' final score if there is a wider score differential. Main reason why this gaming period has been so great for me are the games, of course. After disappointments like Euden Chronicles and Dragon's Dogma 2, no rest for the wicked early access arrived, but it's only early access so far, so not gonna give it much space here, even though I loved it. Elden Ring's DLC Shadow of the Earth Tree arrived and it kicked ass. I loved it, but also hated a few things that show that From Software is losing their touch in certain aspects, but in others they are becoming better than ever. One of the best open worlds I've ever seen in a way that it retains atmosphere while remaining mysterious, interesting and scary. Again, great lore. Great new weapons, aesthetically amazing bosses. It's bloody From Software. I adore their Souls games and don't think that's gonna change anytime soon. I gave it 8 out of 10, which means a great expansion for an already great base game that improved some aspects of it. Then a big surprise came in the form of Skald against the Black Priory. Pixelated graphics that I despise, which is entirely subjective, but good art style to bring out the atmosphere of this wonderful game. It's a CRPG that utilizes a simplified D&D rule set that works fantastic and tells an amazing story of an island eating itself inside out. People becoming manic, giant monsters attacking ships, reality shifting. Depressing story with horror elements that drags the player in easily due to great writing. Especially I liked how simple and effective the dialogue is with focus on necessary and important info. Combat, although simple, works nicely with focus on phalanx tactics to keep each other's backs and sides safe, which makes even more sense considering the horror vibes. For me, Skald is the top RPG of the year so far, from the ones I've played. I thought potentially Game of the Year with the score of 9 that I gave it, but there was even a better one further down the list. Then Hand of Merlin was gifted to me by a long-time viewer. Game made by Crow Team, my fellow Croatians known for Talos Principle and Serious Sam. A roguelike RPG that is a mix between Banner Saga and Darkest Dungeon that pushes players into very well done campaign progression with the goal of going all the way to the end if possible. If not, try again. Game is set in Arthurian times and we are guided by Merlin himself, trying to fight the incoming cataclysm. After Arthur failed, many lesser lords have tried, but with less and less success. Even though the presentation leaves a lot to be desired, combat is very good with a deep tactical system focused on status effects to maximize the team setup. New characters and spells are unlocked over time with spells and grimoires or cores being permanent upgrades that add another strategy layer. Character progression has a bit of RNG in it through random modifications of abilities, but it can be manipulated to get what we want. What I really like are textual events on the map when traveling the world map. Each node is an event, and there are a lot of them. Some are connected to Merlin's story and how he got weaker. Others are connected to the area we are in and the problems that people are facing. Decision making plays a huge part because sometimes events are connected in each area leading to huge rewards. Game can be quite challenging, but campaign progression with new unlocks in terms of relics, characters and spells prepares the player for harder difficulties. Overall, a good game that I gave a 7 because it's a bit lacking in some departments like enemy diversity, world map and combat presentation, weak sound effects. Nonetheless, a very addictive game with great campaign and campaign progression. Then the biggest surprise came, Tactical Breach Wizards. My game of the year so far from the games I've played. It's incredible in almost every way. I was entirely blown away by this game. Fantastic characters with distinctive unique abilities, adding layers and layers of tactical depth that complement each other to create combos in such a satisfying way. Breach game with wizards and spells. Brilliant. Oh, and the level design. It's one thing to create interesting characters and classes, but a whole other ballgame to give them a perfect playground. Missions are incredible, with brilliant progressive difficulty and complexity. Enemy variety is fantastic, as the mix of the previously introduced enemies with the new forces entirely different tactics, and there is never only one solution. Continuous influx of new enemies from start to finish, mixed in all sorts of ways and with new abilities introduced all the time. Missions are gonna become bigger and bigger puzzles, where just succeeding won't be good enough. You will hunt for the satisfaction of creating some ridiculous solution that can finish the entire mission in 1 or 2 turns. Even the story is great, with interesting dialogue and good humor. They could have just made this a mission-based game without any story and it would be brilliant, but they've added significance in this way. Characters' personalities are mostly interesting too, so the storytelling through dialogue in between missions is actually good. You'll be surprised when a couple twists happen that are well thought out. In the review, I've given it a score of 10 because it is that bloody good. Black Myth Wukong. Without the viewer that gifted me the game, I wouldn't have had the chance to play this wonderful game. Still playing it on streams, gonna finish it this week and do the review, but I can already say it's going to be a very positive video because the game is fantastic. Currently I'm halfway through chapter 3. First thing that blew me away was the intro, that I won't spoil here because it is that bloody good. Presentation is fantastic overall, not just through the intro. Characters are very interesting and I love the ridiculousness of it all. Basically, it's almost all animals in humanoid form with few exceptions. Game is very creative and in that department instant rival to From Software and their ridiculous creativity. Story is good, the dialogue is interesting, the characters are over the top ridiculous and have expressive, well-detailed personalities. Best thing of all, there are so many characters in the game and every big boss is a personality themselves, next to crazy NPCs like the headless Chinese wandering rockstar who is based off of a real wandering performer from China. Chinese mythology is a big part of the game and in my opinion Black Myth Wukong does a wonderful job in bringing it to audiences around the world. Combat is what the game is about when it comes to gameplay and there is very little done wrong here. So far from what I've seen, only a few boss fights and couple boss attacks are not on par with the majority of other bosses and their attack designs. That's it. Outside of that, combat has been amazing. Rhythmic, a bit like Sekiro even, with great framework, fantastic animations, satisfying hit impact, good positioning game with diverse gameplay mechanics through stance and spell diversity. There are also other mechanics like transforming into a spirit briefly and activating elemental defenses that when used properly against bosses can trigger special reactions. What is quite special about this game is the enemy and boss diversity. Don't think I've played the game yet with so many different enemy designs. This is insane and for me by far the most impressive thing about the game. Bosses are frequent and almost every single one so far has been different aesthetically and mechanically. Boss balancing is not good, but it doesn't hurt the game due to so many of them. Each boss is gonna present a somewhat different challenge, but the difficulty is quite varied and it isn't a bad thing. I love the fact that there are so many bosses and will never understand people that have been saying that boss rush games like these are not their cup of tea, because the opposite is more trash mob fights. Why? I mean, I get that preferences are subjective, but having so many bosses with different mechanics with varied levels of challenge is an amazing change in my opinion from the typical progression. Black Myth also has fantastic secrets designed that are connected to the story and characters. Whole areas and bosses are the reward for paying attention, and I love that. Chapters are well designed with many bosses and secrets so that high dynamic is retained so far from what I played. Also, thank fuck that there is one game like this with the fixed gear system that isn't grinded with RNG modifiers and similar bollocks. It ties nicely into the rest of the game. Can't wait to see what else the game has to offer. And then the game that has taken over my life completely. I've played games that are highly addictive that I just can't stop playing, like Total War, Warhammer and Football Manager, but this might be the worst case ever since I'm an adult. Atom RPG. Far from a perfect game, but it hits so damn hard that proper Fallout 3 similar to its predecessors actually exists. Longtime channel viewers know that Fallout 2 is my favorite game of all time, and that I adore the original and sequel even more. So many times I was asked if I've played Atom. Without even checking the game out, I disregarded people's takes on Atom as next Fallout because I subconsciously didn't want to believe such a game could exist and then be disappointed after eventually playing it. Closest thing we had to the original Fallouts is Modern Wasteland, or so I thought. Love Wasteland 2 and 3. Wasteland 3 specifically improved on the weakest thing about original Fallouts, which is combat. However, I didn't think there could be a game that is closer to the original Fallouts than Wasteland. Boy, was I wrong. Atom is Fallout, no doubt about it. Heavily inspired by it. Same atmosphere, writing style, similar UI, references to pop culture and original Fallouts, fantastic character level progression, and highly addictive thirst for power to become the top dog. I can't put it down, and I won't. This feeling of playing Fallout again I thought would never ever happen, and that Wasteland was the closest to it. And that's that, which is good enough. But this, holy shit, it's Fallout. I'm not sleeping well, not working on newer stuff, just laying on couch and playing all the freaking time. Starting to feel guilty about how much I'm enjoying it. A review is gonna come soon as the game is about to be finished, and a big tips video for new players is coming. Then I might buy the Trudograd expansion and go through it like a man possessed. Atom is good, but this is mostly my nostalgia because it isn't that good, but it's about the personal preference that it hits 100% and can't do nothing about it. Positive video for a change, and damn, it feels good to be happy about something for once. Gaming can truly be wonderful. I understand that this won't last, as the next one might be already mediocre, but it is fine. I'll never forget this period of childlike wonder and gaming enjoyment. That's it, thanks for watching, and check out the description for Patreon and Subscribestar links where I react to trailers and such. See you!